Introduction to Inkscape. Inkscape is an excellent free illustration program that you can use to make logos, buttons, avatars, and much more. The program allows you to create vector graphics, which you can rescale easily. In this regard, it is more flexible than image editing programs that work with pixelated images. Inkscape instead creates forms that are based on mathematical equations, not the number of pixels per square inch, and therefore can be enlarged or shrunk without any decay in the sharpness of the image. We're going to build an avatar for practice. If you have reviewed the Crazy Talk tutorial, you'll know you can animate your avatar to give your messages and videos some pizzazz. Let's take a look at the interface before we begin. I'm first going to change the canvas size to 1024 by 768, which is the size of an iPad screen. You'll notice that the canvas looks small on the page, so I'm going to hit the plus key on my keyboard to enlarge it. If I get too carried away, I can hit the underline key to reduce it. The keyboard shortcuts are very useful in resizing your canvas, and you will be zooming in quite often to work on paths. You can think of Inkscape profitably as a way to build forms. While you can add brush strokes and gradients and effects, the real power of the program is to create solid shapes. Let's start out by looking at the rectangle tool. Select the tool, then click and drag your mouse to create the outlines of your shape. Here you just see the outline. Now you want to colorize it. With the box selected, you right-click and select Fill and Stroke. At the top of the pop-up menu, you see a handful of options: a solid fill, 2 types of gradients, patterns, and a few other tools. We will use the sliders to change the color, then do a solid fill. Now we will change the fill to a gradient. You can change the opacity of the color as well as use blur to soften or even obliterate the shape. You can also use the gradient tool to redefine the gradient. If you click outside the shape, you will deselect the shape itself. To go back and edit the shape, you need to use the Select tool on the main menu. Let's say you want to alter the shape. We can grab and move the handles on the shape's perimeter to reshape the object. If I click the shape again, the handles will change, allowing me to rotate the object. Now I will select Stroke Style. Here you first adjust the width of the stroke. If 0, then you'll have no stroke visible. Let's widen the stroke to see what happens. Now we will select Rounded Joins. As you can see, this softens the edge. If it were a straight line stroke, we could change the end cap. Now we will change the stroke color. While we are here, let's talk about the color picker. You can use the eyedropper to sample a color either for the fill or for the stroke. The default for the color picker is for the fill. So when you use the eyedropper, it will change the selected object's fill color. To change the stroke color, you need to click Shift on your keyboard, then use the eyedropper. Now let's add a circle. You can click and drag to create the shape just as you did with the rectangle. For circles, you often want a perfect circle, and the best way to do that is to adjust the width and height by typing in equal numbers. You can also add 3D shapes, stars, spirals, and calligraphic brushstrokes. For each of these shapes, you can change the properties on the control bar. Here we will change the attributes of the star to see what happens. We will ignore for now some of the other tools, such as type and color tools. Once we know how to create shapes, we need to examine how to combine and edit them. That will be the subject of our next tutorial.